Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am doing a prep with me. So I'm going to prep for the week, the work week. So I'm just like, why not bring y'all along with me? I'm thinking about doing maybe like some breakfast items. If you look at my grocery hauls, you see that I purchase stuff from a lot of different supermarkets as well as my local vegetable stores. So I usually buy like fruits, like fruits and vegetables. What I have found is with like my berries, I have done a mix of thing in the past. So sometimes I wash them and then I put them back in a container. And then after a while, they go bad, or I don't wash them because I'm like, okay, let me not wash them so they stay longer, and then they also go bad. So what I did last week is this was like in the middle of the week. I was like, why don't I do this? So I washed them and I portioned my berries and I put them in containers, and I found that was so easy. So on any day you just pick up a container and go. You don't have to worry about cutting them up and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do that again today. Hopefully I find some berries at my vegetable store. But I think I'm also going to do some breakfast prepping as well. Not that many, because honestly I don't like to eat the same thing for I won't eat the same thing for like the entire week, but like 1 or 2 days, or I want to do items where I can mix and match. Let me show you what I have for breakfast. What inspired this idea. So I have these 2 bananas. As you can see, they are definitely on the way out. I didn't want to make banana bread or anything, so I'm going to make some banana pancakes. So I have these 2 bananas that are dying. Then I have this mix. It's like an all-purpose mix. Okay, hold it. So you can make biscuits or you can make pancakes. So I'm just going to make pancakes and I'm going to include my bananas. So you see, you just do the mix, eggs, sugar, oil. So I'm going to make that. And if you also watch my videos, you know that I usually get these on sale at ShopRite for $2.99. This was in my freezer. Probably I have more than likely from last year I bought this. So I'm going to cook all of these, and I do this sometimes. So I'll just cook all the bacon. Once I open a pack, I'll just cook all the bacon and just leave the cooked bacon in the fridge. So you could just use it whenever you want. You can heat it up. So I'm going to cook all of this bacon, and I have some eggs. I'm going to scramble some eggs. So I'm thinking my breakfast bowls that I'm going to prep will have my pancakes, so my banana pancakes, some scrambled eggs, bacon, and then the pancake I may not have that many, so then we can do eggs and bacon, or just eggs, depending on what we decide on any given day. So that's what I'm going to prep for breakfast. And then of course I have other items, oatmeal, whatever else we want I can do, but I'm just going to prep these so that I can use up my bananas. For lunch today, I have these pork chops. I have 6 pieces. I have gone to this store in New York, this restaurant in New York called Sophie's. It's supposed to be like Cuban cuisine, and I always get their pork chops in red sauce. I love that thing. I always get their pork chops in red sauce, and they have a rice with black beans. So I'm trying to recreate that dish. For some reason it has been on my mind, but I cannot find a recipe for pork chops in like red sauce. I don't know if it's not like really a Cuban dish, but I could not find it anywhere on the internet, on Pinterest, on YouTube. So I'm just going to wing it. I think I'm going to like fry a few pieces of these pork chops. I don't think I've ever fried pork chops. Usually I just put them in the oven and let the oven do all the work. But we're going to see what I come up with. So I'm definitely going to fry them. I think I'm going to fry all of them, and like a few of them attempt to do them like in a red sauce and see how it turns out. Of course I'm taking you along with me, so you'll see what I eventually come up with. So I'm going to do that to these pork chops. They're washed and cleaned. I left a good bit of the fat on. It's already, I think, like on the leaner side, so I just left a good bit of the fat on. I'm going to season these, and I am going to the vegetable store to see what types of berries and fruits that they have. While I'm there, this is going to be marinating. I have already pressured my black beans. I'll show you those later. And then I'll show you the other side dishes I am making with my pork. Now for the sides. The sides, I have these 2 bags of broccoli. So those are like the steam in the bag broccoli. I got those at BJ's when I couldn't find like fresh broccoli. I'm in a local vegetable store, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm still not I was hopeful for this one, but usually like frozen broccoli for me, once I cook it, this one I actually steamed it in the microwave like the instructions said, but I find it to be so soft and like overcooked and a little rubbery, so I am not a fan. But I have had it in my freezer I think since probably December, so I just want to use them. So I have these 2 bags here. I'm going to use those. Then I bought 3 plantains the other day. 2 of them were green, and then I had a ripe one. I already ate the ripe one. This is the green one that's ripening, so I'm going to fry this. Hopefully it's ripe enough. But so we're going to fry this plantain. And I have this corn. So usually when I open a can of corn, if I don't use all of it, I just freeze it, because I found that when I leave it in the fridge, I forget about it and then it goes bad. So I took these out. I used some of them, but I have the remainder. I'm going to use this. And then I also have some these are carrots and string beans. I used these, the same thing, and I froze the rest, so I'm going to use that. And for some reason I'm thinking macaroni salad. I have not had macaroni salad in a long time, so I'm going to do a little bit of that, and I'm going to add my corn, this, and then of course, you know, mayo and all that stuff. So those are going to be our sides along with our rice and black beans. When I'm thinking about meals for the week, I also think about dinner. I like to have light dinners. Of course, if I have food and I want to eat it, I'll eat it, but usually I think on the light side. So like wings, maybe burger. What else do I have? If I want to do breakfast for dinner, I haven't done that in a while. Or like, you know, like a tuna salad, something really light and fast. But I actually looked, I didn't even realize I had more of these, and I saw that I had these empanada discs in my freezer, so I took them out. I placed them in the bottom, so in my fridge yesterday, and they defrosted. So I want to use these empanada discs. Then I have this parcel of ground beef. As you can see, I put it in there on the 15th of January from my BJ's haul. So I'm going to cook this ground beef up. Then I bought these chicken wings. This is a two and a half pounds. I bought these wings a few days ago, and I left this bag down in my refrigerator. So I am going to wash these up, season them, and I usually bake my wings or do them in my Ninja, but I think I'm just going to do them in the oven. My empanadas. So with the empanadas, I usually do these in the oven as well. I just don't want to deal with frying and all that kind of stuff, so I just put them in the oven. For dinner, there we're going to have empanadas. I'm going to cook all these wings, so if we don't use all of them, then I'll just put it in the freezer and we can use it another time. I patted my pork dry, because since I'm going to fry it, I don't want a lot of liquid on it. So now we're going to season it. So I'm going to do some sea salt, and I'm going to do mainly dry seasoning. So I think I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil. So let's do some olive oil. This is black pepper. I need to replace my labels. Some garlic powder. Onion powder. Some paprika. I think I want to also include some cumin. So some cumin. And little bit of green seasoning here. I think I'm just going to use that. Now I'm thinking about it. I have this steak seasoning I got a while ago. Let's see what's in it. Pepper, red pepper. I think I'm just going to do just a little bit of this, not too much, because this has salt and I already added salt. So yeah, just that little bit. Okay, that's all pork in. Just going to pat it, flip it over, and do the same thing. Just wash my hands and we'll do it all over again. And I'm gonna store it in this container, put it in the fridge until I get back. None of the seasoning is going to waste. I'm going to put this in the fridge and let it sit until I get back from my vegetable store. My wings have been washed and cleaned. I'm just using the same bowl to season them in. And I like how these wings are nice and small. So I'm just going to go in with some olive oil so that my seasoning sticks to the wings. I'm going to go in with the usual, but I also have this Cajun style seasoning. They said that it's spicy. I don't think it's spicy, but I'm going to add a little bit of that. And basically the same seasonings. So this is the salt-free lemon pepper. I got this at Target. Just like that, our wings are done. So I'm going to cover these and put them in the fridge as well. This is my list. I'm going to my vegetable store and you would see sparkling water. I still have my soda stream, still love it, but the CO2 cylinder, the last one that we have, is dying and I'm not going to be able to get them refilled until the end of the week. So I'm just going to grab, I think like 5 for $4 or 5 for $3 at my supermarket. I'm just going to buy 5, you know, just so we have a little treat. These don't look the greatest. I'm gonna get 2 of these green ones. These green peppers don't have them. My vegetable stores didn't have a lot today. I was surprised, but this is all I grabbed. I just grabbed 2 plantains. Plantains are usually 2 for $1, so I grabbed 2 of those. I got a bag of these red seedless grapes. They were $1.99 a pound, so this is a little over 2 pounds. So I just grabbed a bag of that. Then I got this bag of these mini peppers. This bag was $1, so I just grabbed that. Then since the peppers do not have green ones in it, I just grabbed 2 green peppers. These were 2 for $1. That's it. The berries are really expensive because I don't believe berries are in season, but I know the berries are really expensive. Well, the strawberries, and I didn't really find any not raspberries. I didn't find any blackberries or blueberries. The blueberries did not look good, and they were expensive. I'm going to fry one of these. I showed you the other one. I'm going to leave it so it can ripen a little more. So I'm going to fry one of these with our dinner tonight. And I think I need those grapes. I'm going to include them in my little grape container, in my little fruit container I was telling you about. But I'll see what else I have in my fridge to add to that. On my list, I had sparkling water, so I did grab 4 from my supermarket. So this vintage brand, they're usually, actually they're not even on sale. They're always 4 for $3. So I just got a pomegranate, a wild cherry, I got a lemon lime, and this mandarin orange. We're going to get started on our rice. So I briefly looked at a video, so I kind of got the idea of what they use. So we're just going to say this rice is inspired by that Cuban rice that I usually get at Sophie's. So I just did a 1.5 cups of this parboiled rice. I don't want to do too much, so I did a 1.5 cups of this. I washed it already, and as I told you, I pressured some beans earlier, so I have 2 cups of the black beans. I'm going to use the liquid that I pressured them in because I wanted to have that dark black color. So I have 2 cups of that black beans. Then they added bay leaf. I saw they had bay leaf, they had peppers and onions. I don't want to have chunks of peppers and onions, so I just grated, as you can see, some red. I grated a piece of a red bell pepper, and I have onion grated as well. So I'm going to just put that in my pot so that it dissolves and I don't have to see it. So that's going in as well. And then of course I'll just season it to taste with my salt and other, like garlic powder, onion powder. I'll just season it to taste. I am literally using every burner. My oven is actually on and it's preheating, so let's get started on this rice. Just a little bit of olive oil. I just looked at a recipe on Pinterest, so I'll leave that linked below. I'm going in with my bay leaf. Yes. And the same for oregano. I'm gonna do 1 full teaspoon. This is the liquid that I pressure my beans in. So I'm going to do maybe 2 cups and go from there. Two and a half cups. I'm just going to bring this to a boil, then I'll add my rice because, as we know, the beans are cooked already. I'm going to taste this and see how it is for flavor. Our beans are boiling, so we're going to add our rice. Our elbow macaroni is cooked and I had them draining for a while, so I'm just going to put them in the fridge so that they get nice and cold. I have my corn, carrots, and my string beans. I just got rid of as much water as I could since they were frozen. I definitely don't want to have watery macaroni salad. I'm just going to give this a mix. Then I'm going to add it to the fridge so that it can get nice and cold. And once it is cold, I'll do my mustard and mayo. Our rice is done. It has a little bit of water left, but once that dries out, our rice is done. The rice that this is inspired by usually is a little darker, but we work with this. Since we have our oven on to do our wings, I'm just going to add my bacon as well, so we don't have to deal with the cleanup of the stove. I'm trying to make all of these fit. And I just do foil so that catches the majority of the bacon grease. Whatever makes cleanup easier, that's what we're doing. It looks like I'm going to have to put it on another tray. I was hoping that it would fit on this. I'm going to do another tray. I was able to fit how many? 3, 6, 7 on this tray. Tray number 2. This one we only have 3. So let me just put it like this. Okay, so that's all of our bacon. Time for our wings. I'm going to just spray it with this canola oil. I'm usually very generous because the wings always stick even though I spray it. I have a total of 27 wings. I'm going to put these in the oven. These usually take, I would say, like up to an hour because I like my wings to be nice and crispy. To use both plantains, so I know if I leave the other one there it's going to get too ripe, so I'm just going to do both of them, fry them, and then we have them in our fridge. This is the pan I'm going to be frying my pork chops in, but I figured fewer dishes, I can fry my plantain first and then fry my pork chops, so that's what I'm going to do. I have some oil in it, should be getting hot. Done. We're going to add our pork now. I finished frying all of my pork chops and I removed all of the oil and grease out of the pan that I used. But this is what I am using to do that, like red sauce. So I have this no salt added tomato sauce, so I did 1 can of this, then some warm water. I melted like a teaspoon of this better than bouillon. This is the roasted chicken base. That's what I have in here, just to add some more flavor to the tomato sauce. And then I basically added all of the seasonings, the same seasonings that I used to season my pork chops. So I'm just going to combine this. So I just, seasoned up that sauce. Let's taste it. So my pan, I wiped it and got rid of all of that oil and the pieces of meat that was in there. Just going to do a bit of that, and here have green bell peppers, onions, and red bell peppers. So I'm just going to add that. I also have a few sprigs of thyme. I'm just going to let this cook for a few minutes. It's fragrant now, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. I'm just going to cover this and just let it cook down. So this is our red sauce. It has reduced significantly, which is what I want. So I'm going to add my pork. I think I'm just going to do maybe like 3 pieces. This and maybe give it like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. This is what we have today. We have our rice and beans, our pork, our steamed broccoli, plantain, and our potato salad. These are our wings. I'm going to give them a flip, as you can see. They are still stuck to the paper. Okay. Look at how tiny this thing is. I was able to get up most of them without leaving the without having some of the meat being stuck to the paper. But I'm going to put these back in so that the other side can get some color. Then we'll bring them out and dress them. Our wings are out, and I am just going to take some of them. So I'm using this barbecue sauce, so this raised, no sugar added, sweet and spicy. I honestly do not think it's spicy. So I have some here already. I just added a little bit of hot water just to loosen it up a bit, and I'm going to add a few wings to it. I'm not going to add barbecue sauce to all of them, but just a few, and the others I'm just going to leave plain. So I'm just going to toss them. Normally I would put them back in the oven, but since I'm not eating them right away, I'm just going to leave them like this. I came out to show you everything that I prepped for the week. So I did the fruit bowls that I was telling you about earlier. As you saw, I didn't get really any berries from my vegetable store, so this is everything that I had in my fridge already. So I had some blackberries, I have a few blueberries, I added a little bit of those grapes, and then I had some oranges, so I just added a piece of that. So I have 4 of those. And I know you kind of have to be a little careful with fruit because, you know, even though it's natural sugars, it's still sugars. So I have 4 of these, and I have these Rubbermaid containers that my sister got them for me from, I believe it's Walmart. Every Black Friday they have them on sale. So she grabbed them for me a couple of years ago, and I liked it because they stack really well, so you can literally just snap it on and it snaps in place. So I just have 4 of these. I have this one and then just 4 of these short ones. Then for food, I am still working from home, so I didn't prep everything for myself. I'll just take my food when I'm ready. So I did. So this is lunch. So we have our pork, and then that's just all the peppers and onions on top, broccoli, plantain, and the rice and peas is below. So I just prepped. We have 2 of these prepped for my husband. Then I didn't want to give him too many of these like containers, and this is the next size down that I have in a container, and I didn't want to include it because this you're going to heat up in the microwave, and we usually eat the macaroni salad cold. So I have this little container. I just use this little container, and yeah. So lunch, well, for my husband for work, it would be this. So it's food, the fruit salad, I guess, and the macaroni salad. Now for everything else that we made, so of course we did our wings. These are the ones that have no barbecue sauce on them, so I just have them in another one of those Rubbermaid containers. Then the one with our barbecue sauce is here. So macaroni salad, this is what we have left. So what else? We have our rice and beans here. I also have just a few pieces of plantain left. This is what I have left of the beans. I took the sauce that was left and I just have it in this bowl because I am not going to be eating the meat, so I can use this sauce for my rice. This is all we have left of this broccoli. You know how I feel about this. And for our pork chops, let me move this. I just have 2 pieces. Then we have our bacon. True real life here, I wasn't able to do the empanadas or the pancakes, so I'll do those tomorrow. Everything that we have prepped. As I mentioned, I didn't get to make my pancakes yesterday, so we're back at it again, making our breakfast. Still have these my 2 bananas that are slowly dying. I had them in the fridge, so those 2, I'm using this bakery mix, and we're going to make these pancakes. So the only thing that I'm doing differently, of course, I'm adding my bananas and I'm using milk instead of water. So I just have almond milk here. I'm going to use some almond milk. It calls for sugar, so I'm using brown sugar. And back here I have my eggs, and it also calls for 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, which I have. I added my sugar and oil. Of course, I'm adding some more spices, so I'm doing just a little bit of this pumpkin pie spice, just because, you know, it has all those warm spices in it already. I mashed my 2 bananas. It calls for 2 eggs. Going to do a cup of milk. As I said, I'm doing milk instead of water. I think I want it to be just a little looser. So I'm going to add just a splash of the milk. Yeah. Yep, it's the consistency I like. If you have looked at any of my cooking videos, you have seen my trusty griddle pan. So of course, we'll be using it again today. I'm just going to be using my half-cup measure. Prep our eggs. I think I'm just going to do maybe like 8. I don't even know. I'm not sure how well scrambled eggs reheat, so I'm not going to do that many. To mine, so I am not doing salt. Now we're going to do our eggs. I ended up adding 2 more eggs, so a total of 10. To make 4 breakfast bowls because we ate some of it, well, my husband ate some of it for dinner, but as you can see, so I'm just going to put these in the fridge and we have breakfast. I mentioned that I was going to make some empanadas. I actually did not get around to making them early in the week, so it is now Thursday. But for dinner, I'm going to make some. So as you can see, I still have my empanada disc, and I will be baking mine. I've always just baked them. I've actually never fried them. Now I'm thinking about it. I just bake them so I don't have to deal with the frying and all that jazz. So I just throw them in the oven, leave them, and then they're good to go. I did cook my ground beef. So if you see here, that's just the fat, of course, because it was in the fridge. So I have that. So I'm just going to heat my ground beef up. I'm going to add, I have red and green bell peppers, so I don't like pieces of peppers and like onions, but my husband doesn't mind. So I'm going to heat up my ground beef because, as I said, it's fully cooked already. I'm going to heat that up, and then I'm going to take some out, keep the one with the peppers for myself, and then I'll add some finely chopped pieces of these peppers in the other batch. So I'm just bringing you along with me. This is another dish that I am prepping. I'm going to make for dinner because prepping is over, so now I'm just making this one. My ground beef is, I got rid of the excess oil. I think I have maybe like a little over a pound in it, and it is seasoned and all of that good stuff, so I am going to remove some for myself. Yeah, I don't have that much. Iced very finely. Red peppers, green, and onions. I'm just going to let the onions and peppers cook a little, and I'm going to turn this off. Then we can get to stuffing. I've already assembled some of them, so I just added some flour and I rolled my empanada dough. I just did it a little wider. This one I had some provolone cheese, so this one I'm just adding a piece of cheese. I basically just split it in half. I have my filling. And of course, it's over. And then I'm just folding in pieces. Sometimes I do a fork and do like this method, but that doesn't always keep them sealed, so I'm hoping this method works. And then I have a toothpick here. I was doing it with a fork. I'm just, because I feel like this has, make it feel like it has air on the inside. So I just punched it a few times. Then I have an egg wash. There's the eggs, I have my brush. And I am just brushing this. These are the 3 that I did for myself. Those are the ones without the peppers and onions. These are the ones with the peppers and onions. So I got a total of 2, 4, 6, 7. Our empanadas are out. Of course, it's not as golden since I did not fry them, but they have a good bit of color on it. These are the others. I cut them open. This thing is so hot. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Look at it. It puffed up quite a bit. Ooh, this is going to be so good.